Cue the tantrum.
Ugh, and look at his hand gestures right now. Even that is like, it's aggressive.
He's just doing hand gestures.
No, like, he's like pointing, like, it's just like, ugh.
I can't stand this woman. Oh my gosh. Hello everybody and welcome back to Taste of Reality. My name is Queenie, for those who don't know me, reviewing Married at First Sight. Oh damn, almost at Australia again. What is this? Married at First Sight season 14. I don't even know what episode this is, but before we get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and let's talk about Chris and Alyssa, because this episode was basically all about them. Before I do get to them, I am going to do a quick scan of a few couples. I think there's a few bits and bobs I can pick about a few couples, but we're going to start with Noi and Steve. Not much to say about them, but Steve says he hoped to have a woman who was adventurous, and although Noi is very hesitant in like trying the things that he's into, she's a good sport about it.
1, 2, 3.
Why am I putting my ears in the water?
Just do it. Just put your head into the water.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, the fish biting.
Word to the wise, or maybe the unwise if we're referring to Ola. This is how you push somebody lovingly, okay? You don't push them to their limit, especially when you don't know what their limits are yet, okay? I loved that he was like, listen, I'm gonna get you out of your shell, but I'm gonna gauge how you're feeling. And when Noi was uncomfortable, he stopped pushing. And when she was okay to go back in, he resumed. Loving the vibe they have between each other. I hope you guys didn't just hear me burp. Loving the vibe they have between each other. They're still giving me the most hope. They're still my top couple. So we'll see how things go. Next up is Lindsay and Mark. And although they had a blow up the night prior, they ended up smoothing things over just before going to bed, and they woke up arm in arm. They had breakfast together, and child, they were talking about religious backgrounds, how many kids they want, how they're gonna raise their children.
You could do 1, maybe 2, definitely not 3, could do 4. So we're skipping 3 no matter what.
Yeah, no matter what, no 3.
So we're gonna have a lot of kids in our future.
I always wanted to have a big family.
I mean, so much for slowing down. Mark said he wanted to pull things back a little bit, and now they are full steam ahead. A part of it is not his fault, because he did hear from his landlord that the lease is being changed, no more cats allowed, and there's a bed bug infestation. Basically, you're evicted, all right? And Lindsay's like, you can live with me. And he's like, I mean, okay.
In less than a week, I'm married. I've consummated my marriage. We're talking about 5 cats, a situation with some bugs in the apartment, moving in together. I mean, I feel like I'm in another world.
He's very appreciative of the gesture, but he is hesitant because the reality is, a week ago, you would have passed her in the street and not known her from Adam. And now you're going to be living together with your animals under a legally binding union. If that doesn't scream stress to you, if that doesn't scream therapy, I don't know what does. I would also appreciate the gesture, but I think I'd have to go it alone for a little bit. I think the people who just rush into let's cohabitate really quickly, of course, the experiment calls for it, but even after, I do think it's hasty. I think they should go into like kind of like a dating mode. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's why I'm not married. Who knows? I think they could actually benefit from slowing down a little bit on both sides. It's great that Lindsay is such an accepting person when it comes to Mark, and that she's taking him flaws and all. But I think learning each other and taking time with each other, there's beauty in that. And I think she's missing a part of it. Like, she's ready for the destination and she's missing the scenery, you know? So yeah, I think they could just slow down just a little bit. I understand the housing situation is a situation that has to be handled, but yeah, we'll see how it goes, child. We'll see how it goes. Up next is Mike and Jasmina. And I mean, they're in so much shambles that they have no problem arguing in front of people now.
I don't know, I feel like I'm able sometimes to see both sides, and sometimes he's just like, nah. Like, this is how it is, this is what you did type of thing. And I'm like,
That's funny.
No, not even.
Because I think I could think the same about you.
I'm sure you
I
can.
think we're the same in that regard.
I'm sure if you were to ask them to this day what they argued about over the honeymoon, they wouldn't be able to properly articulate to you what the issue truly was. I think it's just a matter of they have their opinion and they have no intentions of letting up at all. And so it looks like you're really having an argument when you're probably saying the same thing. I still feel like they're saying the same things just in a different way. And so it's hard for them to get on the same page because they're like, no, but I'm right. But I'm right. Okay, but you're both right. So Mike is trying to lighten up the mood later on in the episode, and he shares a story about him being bullied when he was younger, and it actually put a smile on Jasmina's face.
A sixth grader?
Yeah, sad.
Okay.
I mean, I still got some trauma from it. Can I have a hug or something?
Okay.
There was even a moment where she got in the water, which she was very adamant on saying she did not want to get into, but Michael's attempts seem to be working a little bit. She seems to be letting her guard down. She seems to be letting herself get comfortable, which is good. I mean, it's a honeymoon, y'all. It is a free vacation. Y'all better soak it up. Are you dumb? Soak it up. Be like Alyssa and be like, I'm here for the experience. I'm here for the experience. That's what Jasmina should be doing, all right? I don't know if you guys thought this. I don't know if you're thinking the same as me, but when Jasmina and Katina were talking to Alyssa and Jasmina's little talking head situation was saying, you know, Alyssa was disconnected from the beginning and I don't think there was ever going to be a chance, right? Because she checked out day one. I think so did Jasmina. And that might be why she keeps like caping for Alyssa. I find it so hard to justify Alyssa's actions unless you also feel the same way about your situation. So the fact that she has also been checked out first day, it's easy for her to come to Alyssa's defense because they're in the same boat. Granted, they're going about it very different ways. She's being a little bit more argumentative, but still kind of open, while Alyssa's just being a brat all around. I think the thought process behind their actions is the same. Y'all let me know if you feel the same way about that. Ola and Katina are next, and they go on a horseback riding date, and immediately my mind went straight to Vinny. I was like, Katina is gonna pull a Vinny. She's gonna catch an attitude. She's not gonna wanna do anything. But I feel like she was a good sport, especially considering the fact that Ola is a tyrant.
Ooh, you're about to piss me off. It's not funny. It's not funny at all.
Yo, you were so dramatic. The horse ain't
Because
doing
I'm
nothing.
scared. It doesn't matter.
No
But
reason
sometimes you have to come down to like my level.
Regular walking.
She was already very nervous about doing horseback riding, and I get it. It's a creature. It's a creature that could literally injure you or just take you, and you have no control. It's terrifying. And to make matters worse, Ola has a very take charge energy that not many people would vibe with, you know? And I get what he's saying. You know, he wants to push her out of her comfort zone, but you might push her all the way out of this marriage, the way that you're going. I also found it interesting, yeah, how later on the conversation between him and Katina and Jasmina and Mike was like, well, you know, Ola's an alpha male and I understand why he acts the way he does. You know, he puts his all in his marriage. If I hear the words alpha male in regards to my partner, don't let the ink dry on our marriage license. Rip it up, burn it up, cut it up. I'm out. If you identify as an alpha male, even if that's how you are, I don't want to hear the words just because the connotation that it has now. And I see Ola express that, like he's a very dominant personality. He wants a woman who's basically a Stepford housewife. Like he's just a lot. He's a lot. And the way that I think like Michael wants to be like Ola. Like I feel like he wants to be that alpha male husband. Like, no, baby, sometimes it's not cute. I think Ola's intentions are pure, but execution is weak. Execution is very weak. I don't know if he just doesn't have that much history with serious. No, I do know that. Isaac, duh. He just doesn't have, real long-term serious relationship experience to know that it's not all going to be flowers and roses. You're not going to be able to just run through life the way you want to, and your wife is just going to conform to anything that you want to do. That's not a marriage. So here we are at Alyssa and Chris. So Chris, for whatever reason, is still trying to be on good terms with his wife, and he plans a tennis date, right? And for a split second, you would actually think they're getting along until Chris is like, let's talk. And then Alyssa's like, no.
When I think of sort of what I had committed to early in the process, it included moving
I want
in.
to stop for 1 second. I already don't like where this conversation's going with, like, I was committed, insinuating that I'm not, so, yeah.
Okay.
The conversation about the apartment comes up because obviously the next day they have to move into the apartments. And her emotions were basically stemming from the fact that, one, she would have to live with him if she wanted to go through this experience, and two, she wouldn't be able to see her friends. So you came on the show to make new girlfriends? Babe, this is why I'm kind of side-eyeing Jasmina and Katina in this episode. How can you possibly side with Alyssa? Maybe they're not seeing what we've been seeing, but I'm sorry, this is Alyssa's character. I don't know how this went unnoticed between the other women. Lindsay sees it, and I don't even want to be on Lindsay's side, but Lindsay sees it. Come on, girls. Get it together. So Alyssa, during this conversation with, well, actually, it wasn't even that conversation. I think she left talking with Chris and was talking to the producers on the side, and she was basically saying, I hate him. I'm tired of being a good person. I'm being portrayed as a bad person, and I don't like this, and blah, 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 blah. And apparently her family and her friends warned not just Chris, but Chris's family that the tantrums were to be expected.
Her mom was saying that that's exactly what she needs because she flies off the handle and she cries all the time and she needs someone that's going to bring her down to earth.
That's the same message I got from mom and dad and sort of bridesmaids.
So this whole playing the victim thing is her MO. This is what she does. The family anticipated it. The family warned him against it. Sure. And even the mom called Alyssa during the honeymoon saying, like, stop. I know you and I know how this is going to look. Don't do this. Later on, Chris meets up with Mark and Lindsay, and then Alyssa meets up with Katina and Jasmina. And basically he's like, I'm at the end of my rope. There's only so much that you can do. I'm not going to keep putting myself out there for somebody who doesn't even want to give 1%. Why he's holding on to the 1% is beyond me, because 1% is a 0. 1% to me is a 0. That's not even a passing grade, okay? While Alyssa's having her conversation with Katina and Jasmina, Katina is like, well, I think it is an attraction thing, like, let's be honest. And she's like, no, it's because the experts didn't give me what I wanted. Alyssa, how the hell would you know that Chris is not what you wanted if you haven't even given him the time of day? If what he's saying is correct about the wedding, she didn't even look his direction. She gave every excuse not to talk to him. They haven't had a proper, let me actually get to know you conversation. And even with all of that and the tantrums, Chris is like, she is what I wanted. She is what I asked for. It blows my mind that he's even remotely invested into this, but we're going to move on to when all the couples meet up, right? And a couple, yeah, it's nighttime. A couple of the couples are sharing what they've learned. Mark asks the group, what are the bumps in the road that they went that they went through, and Michael and Jasmina are like communication. Noi and Steve, Noi was saying that she just needs to be brought back to earth sometimes. Ola shared that he needs to mind Katina's limits and don't just push, and also be cognizant that he has a partner now. It's not just the one-man show anymore. Mark is happy that he found somebody that he can lean on and he can also ask for help. Then comes Alyssa and Chris. So the question of moving in comes up, and Alyssa is like, so I plan on him moving in the first half, me moving in the second half, and we finish out this experience. Girl, this is not a child. We're not in a custody battle.
I love all of you. I didn't come here for you guys. I am either all in or all out. I'm not looking to split time with you like divorced parents.
I was so glad that Chris shut it down immediately, because no, you're not gonna you're not gonna say I'm in this experience, I'm in the process, but then you don't want to spend time with the person you applied to be. This is Married at First Sight. This is not Come Hang Out with the Girls. There's not even a show like that. So get it together. And so later on, because Mark, what's his name? Chris is trying to have a conversation at the table, and everybody's like, well, maybe this is not the time, maybe have a conversation off camera or just not in public. So Chris is like, cool. They try to have the conversation afterwards, and Alyssa feels like him bringing up like whether or not she wants to try is him copping out because she just can't give the answer right now. This is not the time. Stupid ass producers are like, well, maybe Chris, you should give her more time. More time to do what? Producers? More time to do what? Every time he brings something up, she asks for more time. That's a no. But what he's saying is true. I do feel like Chris has been trying, and I do feel like Alyssa has been trying to find a way out, but still see it through, because it's a free vacation, it's a free apartment experience, you got some new girlfriends, paid dates and stuff. It's a fun time, and also it's a platform. I don't know what Alyssa does for work, but maybe she wanted a platform, and she got it. I mean, here we are. I'm talking about her, some other reviewers are talking about her. I'm sure her Instagram is going crazy right now because of this show. So she got what she wanted, right? Chris has also been picking up on the fact that she's been calling this an experience. I want to see the experience through. And he's like, yeah, I really feel like the intentions for why she wanted to apply weren't pure. And here comes another tantrum.
This is my character, and this is the person that I'm going to be shown as, and that's not okay because I'm a really good person. And I came here with the right intentions. And if I didn't have the right intentions, then I wouldn't have gone through this process.
At the end of the day, I don't know if Chris is the perfect person, but I know that he tried to the best of his ability to make this work, and it didn't work. It was never gonna work because it takes two people to make a marriage. And when one says it's done, it's done. You cannot force somebody to stay in something they don't want to be in willingly, because I guess you can force them, but then that's like domestic abuse. It's a lot. But yeah, it's over. It was over when he said, I do. Poor man. Give Chris a refund or something. Oh my gosh. Whew. Next week seems like it's going to be a blow up for some of the other couples. Mike and Jasmina are back at it again. Who else was fighting? I think I saw some other fights. We'll have to wait and see. I'm about to watch the after party literally in about like 15 minutes. But yeah, y'all let me know how you felt about this episode. Like, comment, share, and subscribe as usual. And I'll see you in the next one.